Hey everyone, it's Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and this is my first ever playthrough of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and there's a big anticipation here about this box, and they're building it up greatly. There's a big anticipation about this, and I'm super excited to see what is in this box, because we saw that it was moved. If you check the court record here, like, we had two pictures moved, or two pictures. Are the pictures here? Maybe they're not here. Maybe it was just for the... Maybe they weren't added to the court record. Okay, they weren't added to the court record. That's fine. That's fine. But they were moved. It was moved in the picture and it was really cool.
So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGildy 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Winterbank's murder.
Oh, sorry. The only item on the shelves was that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick, let's open it and see what's inside. I'm with Iris. Let's go. Let's see what's inside. Is the disc supposed to be in there? The disc is supposed to go in there, yeah?
Good gracious, this is no ordinary box, it seems.
Wow, although in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. I don't like Gina being up there with Graydon, by the way. I think they should have done something in a different way. Kept her separate from this freak.
Then is it too much to expect?
I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Like, even if, like, they let Gina, like, maybe stand in a different position in the court.
So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGildy's disc deposited at Winterbank's at much the same time.
Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGildy's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus.
But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell the music box disc to Mr. McGildy?
Oh, putting up his hand. I need to go to the bathroom. I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on this disc, my lord.
Yes, very well. Let the court listen to this curious disc at last. Wait, my lord!
What are you? No, you wait, my lord. You wait, my lord, okay?
The music box and the disc arm were unrelated to the case. No need to spoil some somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
This disc may very well have been motivated the culprit in the case to commit murder. Clearly there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to the understanding of what happened. The prosecution has no objection.
But no, the piece of evidence police property now, you get
him, Van Zeeks. Clearly Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. One of my favorite moments in the Phoenix Wright games, I think it was in Justice for All, when you realize that Edward's actually a really good dude, and he like looks across to like Phoenix, and Phoenix looks across to him, and they're like, no, this guy's lying, and they work together to get him, and it's like, it's such a good moment. Obviously it's not compared to this, but you know what I mean, like this isn't compared to that. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. Exactly, Van Zeeks.
No further delays, please. Play the disc.
It's the same note. It's the same note. That's the same note? That's the same, isn't it?
What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
You're an old man. You don't get today's music. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again. Yeah, in a regular sequence to make it sound like it can sound like it's like playing a different tune. It's like playing the same string but playing it in a beat or a rhythm. Oh, he's laughing. Okay, so obviously this thing has more to it if this dude's laughing. This is really priceless. You make me feel sick, Graydon. After all, that music box is broken. Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. But that's not how brakes work. Can we, like... That's not how... Is it has been moved into evidence? Because that's not how brakes work. Like, yeah, it plays the music on these tunes here. That would mean that the disc itself just has the same tune, because it would just, like, if it was broken, it wouldn't play it at all, right? I don't know, I'm not, like, well-versed on music boxes as you guys might be. If the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
Well, with much regret, I feel the court must accept this music office a little in the way of clues.
You give up so easily, dude.
Are you ready to move on, counsel?
Come on. Yes, alright, it does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could the music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? It could be a clue. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord, but how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel. Mere noise. Just fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever.
It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. As if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somewhere. Is it Morse code? And that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh? I know this song. This is a good song. Watch. Listen, listen. Sailing takes me away. See, it's Christopher Cross song. It's really good. Oh my... I'm not even like... Christopher Cross is not even from my era, and I feel like I'm dating like myself, like in a weird way. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? If the defense believes that the sound emanating from this music box is broken and unusual... This would mean we said they were right. This would mean that like, I don't know, it doesn't mean anything. Not supposed to be music, I guess, is what we're going with. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Yeah, it's like code or something. Oh, look, he stopped laughing all of a sudden. It's not funny anymore. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Bruno.
Objection! He's not acting like Hurley. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now you've told us what they are not.
They have to tell us what they are. He's right.
I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend.
Well,
surely you have an idea in mind? Because if not, it will be the death of your ill-informed argument.
Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. Bruno? I just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really? Really. The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. So do we have to look? I guess, can we examine the box? Is that something we can do? Alright, the music box isn't broken. It must mean that the sound it's producing has some significance that isn't musical. Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Something just struck me, Bruno. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like this one the music box makes. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. Oh, it's been so long. It's been 4 months since I've heard whatever they're talking about. I'm going to have to press the defense
answer on this. Is you certain that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all? Then what the devil is it, counsel?
It's all point to one single answer now, is it? Good. That's what I think. Prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. I agree. Tangible proof on his latest wild speculation. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We got it. All right, then. This could be the best chance I'm going to fight back in this trial, and if I'm right, I'm going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds of this music box disc... Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, look, again, this is one of those things that maybe was months ago. We're gonna have to just, like, examine everything. I don't think it's the pawnbroker's ticket. We've examined this already. I don't think it's the genus representation papers. I don't think it's the blood samples for portfolio, but we can check it out anyway. Yeah, I don't think it's that either. I don't think it's this pawnbroker's ticket. Iris' store's manuscript. Did we hear it in the manuscript, maybe? I can't find anything out of place. Okay. McGilda's case notes. When did we get this? Like, when did we get this? Pawnbroker perishes in pick plus plunder. How awful. Did I not read this before? But tomorrow's headline will be Discharged Driver is Dauntless Do-Gooder, right? Yes, something like that. If possible. Oh, sorry. Bigger. How? Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial, perhaps. Protects planet? Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow now. It's going to be so great. There's a sensational story lower down on the front page as well. Look. Ministry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her fingers on the pulse of the world news. It's about a secret communication between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted, but how would somebody be doing that? That's the question, isn't it? I've come with 3 different possibility methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Bruno? No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strong was talking about yesterday. Yes, it could be, and explains why he has Gregsy running from pillar to post at this time. Wait. This is a long shot. This is a proper long shot. Is the music disc, as I said it was Morse code, but is it the communication that that Strongheart was talking about? Is it that? We'll try. Look, we have five lives. We have 5 lives.
Today's paper, Council. The headline is Pawnbroker perishes in pick-plus plunder. Howly supportive of your case.
No, my lord. I was hoping you look a little further down the page.
Further down?
Ministry mole. Oh, so it is. Okay, that's great. Classified. When did we get the paper? I didn't think we still had that before.
Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, it's a very serious matter, being investigated at the highest level, I understand.
I've heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams? Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, she could totally give her input on this. You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh yes, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? It's Morse code, right? It's like, not Morse, is it like, I guess that's Morse code? Or like the code for typing on the thing? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madame. It bears more passing resemblance to the sound you made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code, yeah. But I don't believe it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from the government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code? That is insane, because that means all the way back with Mr. McGill that he wanted secret government secrets. And that would explain somebody killing Mr. McGill in the first place. Jeez, they moved Gina right to the side, didn't they?
Order, please, everyone. But this is high treason, council, deserving of capital punishment.
Too much of new vocabulary. What is treason and what is capital punishment?
The sorts of words I expect you to know. Why?
For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price.
Yes. And on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGilded perished and all important distillate unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. He's agreeing. He's kind of like, that makes sense. I love when they do that because that shows like they actually are like, you know, in some ways good lawyers. Von Karma was like that too, where it's like Von Karma's like whipping the hell out of us for so long. And it's like, oh, like, yeah, she's actually like good at her job. And that's how she got to where she is. Whoever stole the information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry, yeah. Because if this were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. And in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would have incriminated him too much if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? So that would explain a lot of why he's so passionate about this. You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous.
So in response to defense accusations, you claim complete innocence, do you?
Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Delighted, I'm sure.
Oh, here we go, another cross-examination. The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of pawnbroker Mr. Windybank, that being the most flagrant treasonous offence for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then let's proceed. You may...
Who said hold it?
Oh, it's the Skulkin brothers. Are you calling us have a rabbit pork here, Governor? We got things to say.
I beg your pardon? Who do you think you are?
Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie.
Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out of motherland.
That's right. We're not what they call the three Skulkin brothers.
Go along with it.
Bad timing, fellas. Very bad time.
So the Skulkin brothers are here probably like, they're not right now, they're like, oh, this dude sucks. A Munich Communications Office couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Okay, we're gonna press that, you fool. Besides, the sound produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. Okay, we're gonna press that as well to how you even think that's not Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I have no relation to the man. We'll press that too.
Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night like what we was told to do.
If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. We wouldn't have.
Okay. We have a lot to press here. A lot. Usually like I'm able to pinpoint like exactly what we have to press because it's like usually they're like so different from other topics.
Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin.
What Mr. do, Governor? What's up?
Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That one underlying question, you didn't gain entry to the premises illegally. And moreover, you did so as party of three, in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here.
Oh god.
We did, Gav, we did.
So they admit it.
Quiet down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon?
I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to.
You little rotter, get us mixed up in this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job.
And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor bloke didn't have to die, did he?
Okay, at this point, if you have two people like as witnesses to the murder? Could you just like literally go, or witnesses to like him actually going in and committing this crime and being the orchestrator of this crime? Couldn't? No, I guess because they aren't seen as reliable witnesses, you have to find. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Nice to know who your friends are. What if these men say I denied the accusations?
Indeed. Well, I surely wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit to the court record as evidence.
Oh, it's in. Can we examine it now?
Can we examine the music box now? Excuse me, can I examine the music box?
Okay, always check the bottom first. Oh, what's this, Bruno? I've just noticed something about the music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. You're right. Well, come on then, what are you waiting for? Let's open it. Alright then, here goes. Look at that. There's another movement on the underside. So does that mean you can set another disc to play on this side? Yes, I think so, and it looks like the two movements are linked together. They're linked? So if you had two discs, they would both play back at the same time. That's good to know. I guess we should click on this as well. So maybe there's two, just to complete the code. See how the 4 McGilda disc sits in the music box and the man deposited at Winniebank's? It could be a more perfect fit. So there's no question then. The disc was designed to be played in this music box. Yet despite that, the sound it produces are neither musical nor do they appear to have any meaning. It doesn't make any sense. I wonder, if perhaps there's more to this music box than meets the eye. Maybe we haven't even discovered all the secrets yet. Let's go. So we're going to press the first statement. Yeah. So in this newspaper headline, is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted? How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers by specialists. General members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information. Oh no, stop, I must say something? Oh, great, thank you, yeah, let's go. Even if, like, yeah. We regular communication stations officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. Oh, a team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. Oh my god, you're beautiful. That's fascinating. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently the presence of idols. Stop.
So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon.
Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. In any case, all messages are sent in ciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Oh no, stop. Must say something. Stop.
Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in the...
Oh my god! And he received the top prize at the cipher cracking convention 5 years in a row now. That's fascinating. Oh, he's not happy. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently possessing the presence of idol. Stop. Girl, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut. That is, okay, again, if you're in a court case, and if the guy who's on trial now is getting questioned, turns to one of the jurors and goes, shut up. Don't say another word. At that point, you're like, okay, he's guilty. Like, the jury should come in and, like, he's gone. Like, if you were on the jury, would you be like, if a guy told one of the jurors to shut up and not say another word, you'd be like, okay, you're guilty. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. Besides, the sound produced by the music box aren't even Morse code. Like, dude, it totally is. We know this is. They're not? To anyone with a brain, that would blatantly apparent on listening to the music box for even a few seconds. Of course, of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance.
He'd be more than happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir.
A lesson here in court?
Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct tones.
Tones, you say?
Yes, a short dot, a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters.
I see.
For example, this A.
That's B.
When you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you?
But it sounds so similar. The rhythm is the same in everything. But there's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code.
Wait, there's another section for the music box. There's another section in the music box.
You really should be so surprised. What did I tell you?
That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Oh my god, that's what we all call you!
Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in the future.
Stop. Nothing to say, but stop. He's like, please. Oh, it's frustrating, isn't it? Iris? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked to using the music box, so many other things would slot into place so nicely. Could there be still something I haven't considered? Yes. Would it really be impossible for this music? Give it a try, of course. There it is, because we have to, like, the bottom of the music. We know exactly what it is. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in leaking the government secrets. That's the belief of the defense at least.
Objection.
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required, dots and dashes.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Then what?
Well, it would appear the defense has hypotheses to put forward.
You better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher messages in secret Morse code?
My dudes, the bottom here. What do you mean? Right here. Oh, yeah. We already did this. Look at that. We did that. It's this.
Oh, we already did this as well. So we just present this?
Got it.
I just say cut it for a second.
Another movement on the other side of the music box?
What? It appears, my lord, that their 2 movements are linked together. In other words, you can put 2 discs in the music box, and the sounds will both play back at the same time.
Good heavens.
As the chord is heard, Morse code comprised of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, the music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message.
This is good. This is good. It all makes sense.
I love when it starts falling into place like this.
This is beyond a joke.
I'm sorry.
This is a poor excuse for a lawyer, has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if I and my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well,
I know where the second disc is. It's always been in the courtroom. Don't you want to tell us where it is, Mr. Gregson?
What if he actually has it?
And may I remind the court that, as a witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with Gilda 2 months ago striking a deal of the disc or discs.
That doesn't mean a thing. Don't bring that up. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
Exactly, I have nothing to do whatsoever to do with it.
Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue.
The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be in there somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno.
You will reiterate your testimony, please, Mr. Graydon.
If I must, though, I maintain exactly what I did at the start, at this pointless cross-examination. It was some low-class businessmaker negotiating with McGill anyways, not I.
So, he's already talked about it, so I don't think we have to press this as much.
Look, all we done was break into the gift, didn't know, like that is to do.
Okay, he told you to do it. That's fine. Tell us how he told you to do it.
Like Mr. Grayson told you to, you mean?
That's right, yeah, who else, eh? Silly me though, he was just popping out for the natter after all them years, but the rotter had a dodgy job for us.
All these years.
Aye, Ash?
Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, yeah, that was I caught that too. Do you mean to tell me that Mrs. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours?
We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China.
Oh my god, look at our boy here. Let's go, let's pursue.
Excuse me. Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? No, the other Mr. Skulkin.
What? Oh, me?
When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react.
Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a royal laugh together way back then. When?
Together? With Mr. Graydon, you mean?
Yeah, well, Ash, I mean. You look at him now, he's a fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. What? But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town just like us.
Is that so?
He was always a leery one. He had brains, he had savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a corker, eh?
Save it until after the trial. You reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. I guess so. I wanted to hear it though, I'll just be honest. I wanted to hear it, boys.
Yeah, we've done nothing wrong.
Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please?
I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Yeah, sure, why not? My lord, I'd like to learn more about this. Like, if we could press this, that would be good. The Rosa sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to the case. Yeah, like, just saying, it makes perfect sense, right? That, like, if they knew each other in the past, we should learn more about their past together, right? Like, that just makes perfect sense.
I'll permit the bar to supplement the testimony with the detail. Briefly, I hasten to add.
Ain't nothing brief about it. Say no more, the Skulkin's never Skulkin.
Milk run. Oh, so that we can press it. Okay, that's great. I'm sure going to regret I'm sure I'm going to regret asking this, yeah. What exactly was that, some kind of business? I wouldn't even know.
Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's all it was about.
That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? The business model, the business name, or leave it. So we have 1 or 2 is what we're doing on. The business name? Or the business model? Can I... How do I check? Oh, here it is. Yeah. No, that's not it. History. Sorry, history. Let's see, go back when we were youngsters. A bit of fun. Read different the logo all it was. The name is Milverton and Skulkin's Milk Run. Yeah. Okay. So Milverton. Is that what we're trying to find out here? So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved?
Yeah, that's it.
Milverton and Skulkin's Milk Run, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
And where did the Milverton part come from?
Oh, what?
That's why I was, yeah, that's what I was just wondering as well. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel? Let me guess, you don't accept anything these 2 witnesses are saying? Tell me, why is it that only the mention of the name Milverton that you decide to interject? Because
it weren't the happiest of homes that we came from. Yeah, the old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him. She took the name Graydon, you see.
Oh, so he used to be Milverton.
But Ash will always be Milverton to us.
Milverton. So that used to be your surname, didn't it? Do we have anything to do with Milverton here? It has to be in here. Mason Milverton. No. No, is that a person here in the... We have his... That's... Is that his dad? No. It's been there under our nose the whole time. Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Why would they... I don't think these guys are would lie now. I don't think they would. You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It will be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Yeah, it would be. It would be so simple. It would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony have been reliable for once. Yeah, I don't think they have reason to lie now. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct? Very well. Yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. Yes, it is. It's so important. It's so important. Because remember, he was like, I don't have business. He was like, I don't have business with him. All of a sudden, we seem to be up our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although, all this talk about interception of secrets and government messages is still conjecture at this stage. It would explain a number of things, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard in the omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Windy Banks, yeah! But the trouble wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus, but Mr. McGill did. No. That was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker, who was so horribly murdered. If only there was some link, but there was, we know there was. I'm sorry for skipping that. Could there be two brothers? I'm sorry, I was just so excited. So it's, where was it? It was, he said something about, I don't have any, it was, yeah, I have no relation to the man. Dude, you're just offering it up on a silver platter here, my friend. Should we just present this?
Objection.
Have we got him? I don't think we have him here yet, but we do have a good lock on him. I don't think it's gonna be the end at all. I'm full sure this guy did it. Why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Yeah, my dude. Yeah, my dude. Okay, the judge should know this as well. Everyone else should know this. They should be like, Milverton. I didn't know it because I haven't played the game for 4 months. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with Mr. McGill did. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. That's it. Milverton, do you mean to say Saints Alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father? I think this is one of those moments that happens in the Ace Attorney franchise where, like, you really feel like you've done something really good. I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join civil service. We can just look it up, and it really would take no time at all to take the court subpoena to those records. The truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father. Oh my god. This is like, how do you, like, he has a connection and we have a connection, we have witnesses. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in legal dealings with Magnus McGilded. By dint of this music box, you mean counsel? Yes, stealing information being sent in government communications and selling out to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using the two music boxes discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever.
But the deal with Mr. Gilda went sour, and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, before he's arrested, McGilda managed to temporarily dispose of the disc at the pawnbrokers. Then, having learned of the situation, he appeared at Windybags 2 days ago in an attempt to recover 2 articles McGilda had placed in the pawn. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. But that attempt failed. On the disc, one of the discs was seized by the police and the other you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc.
Are you suggesting the second disc was inside the music box?
We never even known about that.
On the night that Mr. Windybank was killed, they took the second one out of it. That makes perfect sense as to why it was empty. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item and one item alone in the music box. Oh no.
As rather ingeniously demonstrated using 2 prints from the security cameras indeed.
So the question that actually begs answering is this: why was the only one that that one article was disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, yeah, Mr. Graydon, you deny all that this actually began on the fateful night 2 months ago? He's holding his arm again, almost like a response. Like they have different things. Like everyone has a really cool characteristic that they do, and he's holding his arm because he knows that there's a lie there as well on his arm, or something he lied about. I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Sir? There appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. No way, there's not. 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windybank's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Shone's waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. And even if he refuses to get a check, he's like, I don't want to get checked. It's like the duty of the court, I think, to attend to like medical emergencies as well. That wound in your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? Oh, we're so happy about that as well.
He's got you now, meow China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon.
Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember, and I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves.
Okay. To me, that's it. Like, again, if he's saying to the jury to shut up.
No, he lied as well, yeah. Put him all in jail, apart from Gina. I was there in Windybanks that night. I paid to pay 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures.
There, he lied. He's a big liar.
But that is all. I meant to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded? No. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not going to go down with a fight, not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is? Well, we know that 1 bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Shone's waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windybank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm.
Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself.
And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Windybank was shot by a 3rd gun, which can only have been fired by the 3rd intruder.
Goodness.
That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Windybank that night is you. Hold it? Dude, you're... Oh, this isn't the breaking point, is it?
You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, as you'll rightfully say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I built for myself at the communications station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you ever consider the possibility?
What? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility?
The possibility that I was there at the scene. I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client.
What? No. That's not... If the judge goes along with this, that's not what it means whatsoever. If you've lied the entire case about being shot, about being there, about working with the Skulkin brothers, you cannot pin this on Gina, who has honestly only been honest this entire trial. You cannot work that way. It does not work that way. And if it works that way, this is the worst judge in history.
The very moment that the pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor defense's pawnbroker.
You're the only ones who've lied. You guys are the only ones who've lied. She's telling the truth this whole trial. No, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this is realistic, if this works. I'm sorry, but like this is a terrible judge if he goes along. It would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
Mr. Graydon, I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it's shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully.
Then I must ask you to give a formal testimony once more. It doesn't make any sense since Gina's the only one who's been honest this entire trial. But I don't like 17-year-old girls. They're icky and smelly, and they have cooties.
Jesus, dude.
You explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Because again, you've lied this entire time. You've lied about everything. And so is the Skulkin brothers. And so is Mr. Gregson. But we will hear you once more. I gave out to Gina for lying, but I will not give out to you. It's something about you that I will not give out about. I mean, look at you. I'd give out to, let's see, who would I give out to as the judge? I'm a judge. I'd give out to Sasato. Yes, I would. Not Herlock Sholmes. Iris, of course, I would. Windybag, no. Gina, I definitely would. Graydon, no, couldn't do that. Gregson, could not give out. Mayor Strongheart, could not. No. Okay, so I couldn't give out to them. What do you mean there's something in common with the ones I would give out to?
Let's go. Okay. While the ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. Okay, we're pressing the hell out of that dude. Sorry. When Windybag threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. No. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door. We're pressing this as well, my dude. The accused in the black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood spatter over the wretched girl. Then he tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Dude, I'm pressing every single... What? That was the biggest load of lies that I've ever heard in my life.
You claim so under oath you have clearly seen the defendant pulling the trigger.
And you wouldn't say this the whole time.
Order! Oh, sorry, actually, not order. There's no girls in the crowd today. You guys can just act up. You can do whatever you want there.
It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is my intention to be... Guys, before anyone, says, oh, Calvin, that joke's not... it's not funny because, you're claiming the judge is this or that. There's a clear through line here. There's a clear line here. He has grilled the hell out of Gina. And either it's two things. Either because she's a perceived criminal or she's a young girl. You can choose. You choose in the comment section, okay? My hands before, so I'll tell you the truth now as an act of self-preservation. The truth?
Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details.
Oh, yes, well, sorry about that.
Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was shot in the back by the accused. And it said she was showered in his blood. You say the blood splattered all over the accused's coats, are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time.
Really? If a coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here.
Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. Only very recently a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. So here's the true science, not some amateur detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry.
There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. You know what's dubious? His whole trial. That's what's dubious. I call this the Doobie trial. Oh wait. In science and law, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used, with your lordship's permission.
We could shatter all vestiges doubt within minutes.
This doesn't look good, Bruno. Why not? Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat.
Yep.
If they tested with their chemicals... Oh, help. You're right, I was forgetting what happened yesterday. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, we shot and it was... Windybanks, right?
That's not Mr. Windybank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood from when he was stabbed by Miss Gilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. My lord, the defense objects to test as proposed by the prosecution.
Overruled. Lord Van Jinks makes it so at once.
With pleasure, my lord. And while we wait the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Once they find that blood in the overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel. Yes, my lord.
Your cross-examination.
Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial.
The moment of the shooting. Yeah, we think every one of these statements is a lie. Or at least I think every one of these statements is a lie. I think they're all a bunch of doo-doos. Let's press everything we can. Mr. Windybank emerged from the storeroom, I believe.
Ringo and Nash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close. I'd never been so scared in all my life.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and we were just regular more-mannered burglars, that's all. We didn't like violence.
Says the pair who carry a gun. What do you mean you say you were near the entrance to the shop?
I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items.
Looking for the music box, of course?
The broker waited for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong.
I was trying to help me little bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter. So I pulled me gun in the old fella, and that soon made him scarper.
The pair of you setting upon your poor defenseless pawnbroker together, shame on you!
Sorry, Gov.
When Windybank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm.
I'm gonna press everything. I don't care. I do not care. You mean that's the moment you were shot?
Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the 3 men were brawling. It was exactly that moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot.
And the bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you?
So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped in a handkerchief around it. Seeing as I could explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I couldn't explain. I didn't imagine it would be still bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Windybank intend to shoot you, do you think? Well, now, I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home.
When I put my gun away, he tried to shove me out of the way. And then he scarpered through that door at the back.
At which point, what did you do? I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole. In the door, though. The accused... Oh, sorry, I was reading it as if I wasn't doing it, so yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm pressing this too, buddy. You're getting pressed. You're getting pressed because you're a big freaking liar. Someone has to press these liars since the judge won't. You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop.
And what about this peephole and door you mentioned?
Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom door was a solid job made of stout wood. But there's a small opening head height that lets you see what's happening.
He opened that door?
Actually, I should know. I should know that, shouldn't I?
I looked through it myself that night. To find the bodies, yeah.
And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through the peephole as well?
I don't like it, Gav. Didn't see nothing of the sort, Gav.
I doubt these two performers were even aware of the peephole's existence. So the Skulkin brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windybank take place. Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
The defendant?
Yes, though neither of them noticed I was looking.
She's a liar, I'd say.
The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man.
And then she lied? And what did you see next?
The accused in the black coat shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety.
Yes, when the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Windybank's gun, from which only had a single bullet had been fired. As you've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you.
But no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windybank's grazed my arm. And yes, the Skulkin's gun grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely, a third gun. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to be a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time.
Objection! But no other gun was found at the scene.
Calm yourself, counsel.
Sorry?
You must consider the events in order. At first I saw the broker and then the girl glaring at each other, but then, all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at that moment that the little gutter rat shot him in the back.
A chilling image, I must say.
I saw the blood splatter all over the wretched girl.
Did you... Okay, maybe we shouldn't be pressing everyone, because this might just make us look stupid.
Of course, the stains are invisible now, what with the coat being such a dark color. But I assure you, the garment is sullied with the victim's blood.
Well, it's sullied with blood, that's for sure. But it's not Mr. Windybank's blood, is it? No, that's right. Is it? Oh, it's Mr. Mason. Oh! Oh, yeah, it's so annoying. If they only accept Charlie's chemical analysis, we could prove that. But they won't, so unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support our case anymore. Anymore, I say. I added that myself because I think we did use it before. There's nothing here at all. Like, we haven't really found anything at all. Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room? But she still had the gun. No?
In direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole on the other side of the door.
But why would she do such a thing?
I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder.
She had the gun in her hand. Without thinking, I went and picked it up.
I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case more tragedies took place.
Come on, Van Ziegs, come on. You know it's a load of shite.
So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime. Yes, it was yours truly. I left clear up to my lackeys and left.
Clear up?
We made a bit of a mess around the counter, so we whistled and Foodie told us to hide it up. He thinks our blooming mum he's our blooming mum sometimes.
Well, I was paying you enough, by God, 10 guineas. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance the second disc in your jacket pocket?
You little toe rag.
You little toe rag? Oh my God! Yes, pursue. Gentlemen. When I say gentlemen, by the way, that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. I think we're coming towards the end. I think we definitely are. We've got him in a, like, he has these lies, but I think they're going to be, like, found out, especially, like, since we have the Skulkin brothers with us. It's weird we haven't seen Sholmes in this trial at all. It's weird that we haven't seen Susato come back. And, like, I guess it might be the next game is possibly when we see them next, but it is strange. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
And remember, if there's any 17-year-old girls out there, I'm going to give out to you for something that everyone else does, but they never get given out to.